So 9 times out of 10, if you're a young nigga like me, this is probably what you want. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not what you want. In fact, it goes way deeper than this bullshit right here. You see, on my channel, I like to break down, things to a more deeper level. So that is something we will be getting into this video. We'll be getting into things such as spirituality and how things of that nature affects us. We're not only going to be focusing on the physical, we're going to be focusing on the mental and the spiritual in order for you to get some fucking bread. uh All right, so first things first, it's time for us to understand what we actually want. But then, in order for us to understand what we want, let's first understand how manifesting our desired reality works. So, what is manifesting a desired reality? Well, first of all, what is manifestation? Manifestation is internally shifting to a degree where you're no longer dependent on seeing reality change. And I hope you guys are keeping this in mind. I put illusion in brackets because reality is an illusion at best. Okay, so now what does that mean? Because it just sounds like a whole lot of bullshit. But then I have a quote here from Albert Einstein: reality is merely an illusion. If the smart people are saying that, like, then it has to be right. Nah, I'm playing. That's not exactly what I mean. But reality is an illusion. Saying reality is an illusion is basically just a fancy way of saying that it's a trap. You see, if you focus too much on the physical plane, then you will not be able to manifest your desired reality. You see, this is a very important concept that I go through. The three planes of existence. If you focus too much on the physical plane, then you will not be able to manifest your full 100%, because the physical plane is only 33.33% of the, how do I say it, planes of existence. What makes up your reality. And the thing is, this right here is a part of your reality. So if you are able to sort of get this part of your life correctly, then money, things of that nature will simply just follow. As you can see, you're gonna buy a seat, you're gonna get money, you can have good days, you're gonna be a king. If you're able to get these planes in the right area, then money will simply follow. So I guess the main thing I want to take out from understanding the three planes of existence is that if you focus too much on one plane, then you won't be able to manifest your full desired reality. Think about this as sort of, how in Rome, like, niggas have like the pillars. If you only use one pillar, then it's a death sentence. Like, it's literally gonna collapse. If you can use two pillars, it's going to collapse because you're only using 33.33%. Or if you're using two pillars, you're only using 66.66%. You're not using enough of your full 100% that you can tap into. So once you're able to master these three planes, then money will simply just follow. Alright, so now we can finally hop into understanding how manifesting our desired reality works. Do you ever wonder why there's always that one person that always just looks like they get shit done? Like, no matter what's going on, bro, they're still literally going to win, like through thick and thin. And some people don't even realize it. Some people don't realize that they manifest, like, some people don't even realize it. Some people manifest, like, some people manifest by mistake. Like, some people do that shit by mistake, which is one of the reasons why rich people, are here with money and sort of have a, bad internal state. Like, they're not really the best people, but they still, are able to manifest different types of money. And, like, that's the sad part about it. Being a good person does not necessarily guarantee that you will sort of, receive what you want, which is honestly sad. But then that's a topic for another day. So the main point I want to get into for this section is that in order for it to exist physically, it must first exist vibrationally. You need to be in the vibrational alignment of a person that receives money. And what does that mean? Your vibration is basically your frequency, and your frequency is basically let's go here. Your frequency is basically the lens through which you see reality. I hope you guys caught that. So in order for it to exist physically, it must first exist vibrationally. Vibration is basically your frequency, your rates of frequency. This is your vibration. This is how high up you are in order to get to the frequency you are. Your frequency is basically the lens through which you see reality. So if you see reality through somebody that is able to receive and make money and earn money, you don't make money, you earn money. If you sort of see the world as a person who's able to make money, then it'll simply come to you. You need to be it. You need to be it first in order to receive it on earth as it is in heaven. You know, you receive it from heaven internally, and then the external will simply just prove it to you. So like, how do you get your vibration up? If I'm keeping it like straight simple, your vibration is basically, I don't want to say how locked in you are, because you know everybody can say they're locked in and they're still fucking like, you know, go crazy. But then that essentially is what it is. It is how locked in you are. But the most important part about vibration is your emotional state and overall perception. Keep this: emotional state and overall perception. Your emotions and your common beliefs obviously tie into your overall perception. Your perception is dependent on how you feel emotionally and what you believe to be as true. So the reason why your emotions are so important is because, let's be honest, like if you're feeling bad, you're not gonna get any shit done, bro. Like if you're feeling tired, feeling, you know, fuck life, you're not gonna get anything done. So the main thing we want to cover is your perception, because if you have a bad emotional state, then your perception of life is, you know, just going to be like you're not really gonna want to do anything. You're just gonna have a like bad perception of life overall. And it's important to understand that your perception is directly interconnected to your projected reality. So if you're in a bad emotional state, which affects your perception of life, you think everything's just bad, you know, like fuck life, then that's simply just going to be a projection of reality. You know, if you have a bad perception, then your reality is obviously going to be bad. If your perception of life is that I don't have money, I don't have period, then your projection is simply going to prove that to you. So once you're able to almost delude yourself into thinking that you have this, then obviously it'll come. And obviously, like, one thing that I want to make clear is that if you have no clarity, if you have no direction and purpose, all this information I'm telling you right now is not going to help you at all. Obviously, you can only apply this to your life once you're able to sort of find clarity in the thing you want to do. You know, not everybody's going to have the same path, which is why, you know, tap into the person you want to be vibrationally. You know, you need to be vibrationally aligned to the person you want to be, and once you're able to do that, you will sort of receive information from your future self, which allows you to sort of make the bread. And then now, here's the important thing: making bread is important, but then that is not the main thing. That shouldn't be your overall driving factor. Like, if you ask people what they truly desire, they probably say some shit like this, you know, women, money, cars, things of that nature. But what you truly desire is frequency. And we did go through frequency. Frequency is simply the lens through which you see reality. Write this down. That's a bar. Write that down. Frequency is simply the lens through which you see reality, how you view reality. If you're able to sort of view reality from a spiritual paradigm, which is basically, you know, peace, love, joy, basically from these frequencies, if you are able to sort of view that, then, you know, that is your perception. But what do we say? Your perception is directly interconnected to your projection of reality. So once you reach spiritual paradigm, your reality will simply just prove it to you. You get what I'm saying? You know, if you're genuinely happy to go to work, if you're genuinely happy to be the person that you want to be, then this shit's going to come easy. It's literally going to come in a couple of seconds. And the thing is, you can literally switch and like just get up and be the person you want to be. You can literally just put down everything and be like, yo, I'm gonna put this shit down for like 30 seconds. I'm gonna just do something that's gonna get me closer to the person I want to be, and then simply just, you know, get there. So one important thing I want to make clear, I'm gonna say one more time: You do not desire these things, you desire frequency. But then these things, as you said, are from the physical plane. And let's go back. The physical plane is an illusion. The physical plane is an illusion. And this is where it really gets deep. This is why it is an illusion, because these physical things sort of give the illusion that they're equivalent to spiritual paradigm. They sort of give you a false sense of peace, joy, and love, but then really these are just, filler praise. These are just products of peace, love, and joy. But then once you focus too much on the physical plane, once you try and sort of get it from other means than spiritual paradigm, then it sort of becomes an illusion, because over time this is not really what's going to make you happy. This is like fugazi, this is fake. If you're able to sort of go this route, then you will receive this in the end. But then spiritual paradigm is not. One thing I want to say about this being an illusion, because it is an illusion, you cannot rely on it. You cannot put it on a pedestal. This cannot be the main thing that you sort of want in life. Like I said, you do not desire this. You desire spiritual paradigm. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys with the video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the section. And I do advise that you sort of join the Patreon. Why am I slipping? And have no fear, because I am here. My name is Fulu. I'm a spiritual growth coach, and I'm here to guide you. All right, let's go.